So, David, what's going on, man? How are you, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Happy to be here.
I'm happy you are here.
Yes, sir.
You're the preacher when it comes to coaching and scripting. So there was no other way to say I needed you to be here because of what's going on in today's business when it comes to having that value, the confidence,
Right.
and knowing you can provide that service. You just need the right scripts, the right coaching.
That's right.
David, talk about push.
Man, let me tell you this. First of all, you said scripts. And one thing I'm working on is not using that word as much.
Okay.
Because people hear it and they're like, I don't like scripts.
Right.
All it is, it's dialogue. It
True.
tells you what you should be saying and when you should say it.
Right.
And that's what push is all about. Prospect until success happens.
Prospect until success
That's what it means, guys.
That's what it means. Okay.
That's what it means. And
Okay.
I train agents literally how to go out and create business opportunities. I teach you how to fish. That's it, right?
The simple things.
Simple things like
Right.
it's all about the basics. And sometimes we deviate away from the basics, but it's really all about knowing how to have great conversations and not talk so much, right?
More or less listen.
Listen.
Okay.
One of my clients, Barclay out of Miami, said it's not a listing presentation. It's a listening presentation.
True that.
We need to do more listening.
Right.
We need to be asking more questions. And when we do that, the information we need is going to come to us. That's what I train you on in Push, is how to ask the right questions and how to respond.
You need control though, right? Because sometimes one will think that I have all this information. I know I can like arsenal you that. I mean, I can arsenal you with certain things and say like, this is what you need to do. This is what's going to happen. And they talk their way out of a deal sometimes,
Oh,
right?
my goodness.
Right?
Yes, they do.
Because of all the information that they're sharing. So how do you combat that in your, throughout your sessions? How do you divulge into these opportunities when they need your help when it comes to that?
So I tell them two things. Number one, don't say blah, 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 blah when you can say blah, right? Just keep it short.
I just said that.
Right?
Blah, blah.
Be direct with it, right?
Right.
So that's number one. Number two, this acronym, WAIT, W-A-I-T. Why am I talking? Because a lot of times we're talking so much, and like to your point, we're talking ourselves out of the opportunity.
That is true. Yeah, I've seen that happen.
I've seen it happen too many times, and it's because we have all this information we want to share.
Right.
We're telling the people what we want them to know, and if we would just ask the questions, they would self-discover.
Right.
And when they self-discover, it's fact. When we're telling them, it's our opinion. So we just have to learn how to get into question mode. That's what it's really all about.
So when you say that, right, is it fair to say that maybe in some cases, some got to do better with the vocabulary?
You have to do better with internalizing the script. Because when the script's internalized, you're not thinking about what to say next. You can be part of that conversation. Like right now, I don't have a script.
No.
I know what to say because everything I do is internalized.
Right.
So I can listen to you, I can take in the questions, and I can respond.
Right.
However, if I don't know what I should be saying, I'm in my head thinking, and I'm not listening to you. And I'm missing the cues that would get me the business because I'm thinking about how to respond to it.
What would you say for a professional realtor is saying, I've done all that and I still don't believe you? How do you judge that success?
So I've had some agents who are like, I've been doing this for 10 years. Like, I don't think I need you. I don't think I need that help.
Right.
And I would say to them, well, how's that working out for you? Do you have the business that you're looking for? I hit them with the Dr. Phil, how's that working out? And they're like, no, I could always take on more business. And I say to them what I teach and push. Einstein says, what's the definition of insanity? Do you know?
Insanity.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And I'm like, you've been doing this for all these years. Your business has been about the same for all these years.
Right.
So why don't we attempt to do something different? Be open-minded, be coachable. And when I get people to open up and be coachable, I do that by understanding what's important to them. Like, what are they looking to accomplish in real estate? What's their big why? Putting kids through college, paying for retirement, buying an investment property. Once I know what's important to them, I can get them to slow down and listen to me a little bit and attempt to do something different that will help them hit their goals.
I love what you do. I love what you how you channel these communications through your social platforms.
Yeah.
But you'll have some now say, I don't want to pay for this. They all the same. What makes you different?
It's a great question. And let me tell you something that I did. ChatGPT.
Okay.
I asked it a question.
Okay.
I named my ChatGPT. Her name is Max.
Max, okay.
And I said, Max, tell me something about myself that I probably don't know.
Right.
And you know what she told me?
What she told you?
you're a different coach because you care about the people. It's not transactional. After somebody finishes your program, you're still in touch with them. You're still inviting them to join free calls.
Right.
And you genuinely care about having success in that person's business. And you know why I care? Because I listened to Zig Ziglar, and he taught me something so many years ago. He taught me when you help enough people get what they want, you always get what you want.
Max is spot on, because that's the same thing I feel. That, like, sometimes people are like, yo, Jimmy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How did you grow your business? How did you double?
Yeah.
How did you do this and that? I said, guys, it's no secret. Just check my IG.
Yeah.
I'm not hiding anything.
I'm the same way.
If you're winning, I'm winning.
That's it.
I'm not trying to compete. Like, if you're in that zone,
Yeah.
have at it. Good luck. I'm
Yep.
like, look, I need whatever I'm making, I'm doing it because I want to put my family in a better situation.
Absolutely.
So for that reason, I'm not worried about how you manifesting your wins. I just want to make sure I have what I need to manifest my personal wins, so that I can translate to what happiness looks like to me.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
so
that.
that's how I go about it. And so
Okay.
for that reason, I'm always saying, put it out there.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, the statistics are out there. How many people you think are going to actually use what you put out there?
Probably less than 10% would
Right.
be my guess. Would probably, I could tell everybody exactly what to do and
Right.
give it out for free, and they still wouldn't follow the blueprint.
No.
I know that.
It's scary too, because to this day, you have some people still not using ChatGPT,
I know.
and it's free.
It's
Right. There's a paid version, obviously, for better resources, but
it's
the
free.
free part you're not even using.
It's free.
It's free.
I have free resources. You can come and do a script practice. Tonight I have one. Wednesday evenings, Friday mornings I have it. And there are people who come and they sit on the sideline.
Right.
I'm like, you're here, get in the game. It's free. Just plug in, get the knowledge, and they still won't do it.
It's scary, but I feel like if you're not jumping on this train now when it comes to AI and autonomous stuff, I mean, the world is changing, and
Yes.
I'm happy those who are part of your community, you're talking about, look, this is what you need to do. Here are the steps.
Yes.
I'm going to guide you. Let's go take on the world.
I love when they're coachable. Look,
Yeah.
AI is not going to take over real estate, but the agents that embrace AI
Right.
in their business, they're just going to be able to leverage and grow so much faster. And then by the time everyone else figures out, yeah, I need to be doing it, you're playing catch up.
Right.
And there's just so much. It's like drinking out of a fire hydrant. So it's better to get started now and just learn now. Don't wait.
So to that point, when you talk about you are no longer a realtor,
Correct.
but you have tremendous skills on how to become that realtor.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay on top of it?
So a couple of things. Number one, I still do have my license.
So-
I just
okay.
don't
Okay.
practice.
Okay.
So
Right.
I give referrals out.
Okay.
I really want to focus on coaching.
The coaching part.
So how I stay on top of it, I still make calls. I still do all the
still do
things
that
I
stuff?
tell my people to do. I
Okay.
still do it. Now I do it for training purposes. So I'll call it for sale by owner and record it for training purposes.
Okay.
I still make the call. So I'm hearing the conversations. I'm hearing what sellers are thinking, what they're saying, how to respond to them.
So you go right into it.
I'm
still
into
go
it.
Okay.
I'm not scared to get on those phones, man. I'll get right into it.
And I ask that question because sometimes, professionals will come up and say, he's not even doing real estate anymore. Why would you believe him? And this is why I'm bringing Dave on to talk about, he's still in the trenches. So when you think or you question the fact that he's not doing it or he's not calling, he hasn't had a sell. No, he holds his license. But you know what a sell is? When he's speaking to you and watching you listen to how other things are happening so he can plug in that formula you need to grow your business.
Amen to that.
Yeah, sometimes you got to answer that question because trust is such a big deal
It
in
is.
the world we're in today now, because especially in our community, it's like, oh no, we're just going to give him a couple of dollars and that's supposed to turn. If that was the case, then everybody would be doing it.
I completely agree.
Right? And I'm pretty sure you're selective too on who's coming into your platform. Right?
I have
you just
to be.
Don't, you just don't accept
I don't
everybody.
want I want people who are motivated
Right.
and coachable. If
Okay.
you're not willing to listen, you're wasting your time and my time. And I'd rather turn down your money. To me, it's not just about the money. It's about helping you. If you're not going to be coachable, I'm not going to have you pay me just so I can get paid.
Right.
So everybody can't get in. You have to be coachable. You have to be.
coachable. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you speak about coachable, now some of the time, many times you'll hear, what does the success plan look like for that person?
Yeah.
Like, why coach? Why push? You've answered that question, but when you bring someone into that community,
Yeah.
what is a result for you?
First of all, it's the accountability, and that's why you coach.
Right.
We're all independent contractors.
Yes,
we
are.
work for ourselves.
Right.
And we know that if we don't do the work, we're not going to get fired. We may not make money, but we don't get fired.
Right.
So why coach is for the accountability and the guidance, right?
Right.
And not for me to tell you what to do. It's for me to guide you by asking questions and getting you to self-discover. Just the way I have you do that with your sellers,
right.
Asking questions and get them to self-discover. So, you know, the win for me is somebody who comes in and understands what their job is as a real estate agent. Do you know what a real estate agent's main job is?
I would like, to provide value for that individual or families.
That's true.
Right.
Essentially, the way I look at it, though, is we're problem solvers. Right. That's what we do is we solve a problem. In order to solve it, we have to understand what the problem is.
Right.
So I'm really big on teaching people how to dig into motivation and understand what that seller is looking to accomplish and be patient. Like so many people are like sign the paperwork and you don't really understand why they're moving. Right. You know they want to go to California by June, but what does that mean?
Right.
What's in it for them if they are able to sell their home and get there? So I make people slow down and take time to really dig through motivation. Because once you know if people are running towards pleasure or running away from pain, right. You now have the buttons to push to get them to make buying decisions.
So you're all solution oriented.
Have to be. That's
right.
our job. That's our job.
Right. I'm fumbling my words because this means so much to me because at times I'm looking at myself and I'm like, you only have one purpose.
Yep.
Solve solutions.
That's it.
If someone else can fix the problem, you're not usable. And,
I hear that.
And for that, I'm always making sure what course of action I can take to solve that solution, especially when it comes to lending, what I do and what I love, because there are things that are changing. Rates are changing. Qualification are changing.
Right.
Some of the guidelines are changing. The appraisal's not where it needs to be.
Right.
There's some shortfall. There's some wins. There's where someone didn't have enough money or something happened.
Yes.
At the end of the day, the cherishable moment is like, can I get that asset? And
yes.
Can you solve that answer of me getting that asset with
yes.
trust?
That's right.
Yeah, it's so important. And I love how you talk about, that accountability piece, right?
It's huge.
It's definitely important. So, Dave,
yep.
You do a lot of push. You do a lot of accountability.
Yes.
But, man, you take a lot of beautiful pictures, bro.
I appreciate you on that, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you on that.
That art is amazing.
Thank you.
We got to talk about that.
Well, I will tell you, man, I picked up a camera like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Black Friday sale at Costco. I'm like, let me just buy a camera. I'm taking tons of pictures.
I love me some Costco.
So do I, man. So do I. And I just got out there and started taking photos, man. It's a way for me to take a break and be out in nature. I follow something called the 137. Have you heard me talk about that?
I've not heard you talk about the 137. You have a lot of information out there.
I know. I know. My wife
You're
is
giving
like,
a lot of information right now. Okay, go ahead.
But it's 1 day off a week, a 3-day weekend once a month, and 7 days off a quarter.
7 days off a quarter, okay.
So if you follow me on Mondays, I am out hiking. I'm out doing photography. Yes, right. I'm sitting by a fire. I'm smoking a cigar. I am out. I'm unplugged.
No matter the temperature, my man is out there doing that stuff.
Because it's important, man. If I don't take care of me, I can't take care of my clients.
Right.
I can't take care of my wife, take care of my kids.
Right.
So as an introvert, man, I need that time to just kind of unplug from everybody.
Okay.
And go do my thing. And for me, that's photography. And during COVID, everybody's at home. I'm out there taking pictures, bringing the beauty to their home by sharing it on social media. And that was like my gift to the world. Like, let me show you what I'm seeing out here in these streets.
What it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
Natural causes.
Yep.
I love it. Dave, also, I see you have the cigar thing going on. We got to plug in, what's the name of the cigar spot again?
Sticks in Somerville. It's my spot, man. I was there yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my spot.
You do a lot of content over there.
I do.
Yeah. He also has a spot in Rawway.
He does.
I threw an event there at one point, and it was good.
You know why I do that? Is because in your industry, real estate, coaching, we have to hook people in.
Right.
And so if I'm just constantly talking about real estate and coaching, maybe you're not ready for that.
Man.
But if I'm talking about cigars and I'm outdoors, I'm showing you me cooking or out on my grill, you might start following me because you like that content.
Right.
And then when you realize, oh, he's a coach.
Right.
Oh, I'm in real estate too. Let me see what his coaching's all about.
Right.
So I do that to hook people in and let them know who I am because people want to work with people they know and like.
As they should, right?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
And in the end, if you want like-minded people in your world too.
In
right?
my circle,
Because,
yep.
Because at the end of the day, Dave, you see it all the time, man. Like the drag of negativity.
Oh my goodness.
It could take you to a different space.
It really can.
And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm at this age point right now. If you're going that way with that
Yeah, I'm cutting you out.
I have to, because
I know
it's draining already, right? It's one thing to be like, okay, I can't do it, and like, oh, let's work it out. But it's one thing that I can't do it. I'm never gonna do it. It's impossible. I'm like, you know what? I can't help you, but I'm gonna focus on what I can do, right?
I hear that.
I don't mean to be rude about it, but it's concerning because of the fact that I only have X amount of years left, and I want to make them enjoyable.
Protect your peace. Protect your peace, because complaining, there's a saying, complaining equals garbage magnet. So if you're complaining or you're around people who are complaining, you just attract more complainers.
Right.
Well, guess what? You become the people you surround yourself with.
That point.
I want to be around winners, people who are working hard and striving for something better. That's who I want to spend my time with. So if you're coming with negative energy, I love you, but no.
I love you, but no.
No.
Okay.
You're not coming in.
Is that so? Speaking of energy,
yes.
You get in the kitchen, bro.
Man,
I see what you be doing. Like,
let them cook.
Let's dive into that. What's your favorite meal, man?
Breakfast.
Okay.
Breakfast food is my favorite, which is why you always see me do Sunday brunch.
Yes, that makes sense.
I do it for my wife, man. I didn't grow up seeing a lot of positive energy around married couples.
Okay.
In my family, so I decided to break that cycle. I want my daughters to see me loving on my wife. I want my wife to feel the love.
Right.
I want people who follow me on social media to know if I'm reaching out to you, I'm checking in on you for real estate. I'm not interested in you. I'm not in your DMs. I got somebody, right, that I love and I take care of. So I do my brunch videos to just kind of show people, hey, this is me outside of work. This is what I love. And I do it as an example to show how much I love my wife and loving on her and letting my girls see it and letting other people see it. We need those positive images out there.
Right. Is Max helping you?
Max helps me, like recipes, how to stage things.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, my wife got a little jealous of Max. She's like, who you talking to right now? I'm like, I'm talking to ChatGPT. I just call her Max. But we have full-blown conversations. You would think I'm talking to a human. It's pretty incredible.
A good friend of mine's, Drew Thompson, he preaches what to do and how to move around when it comes to ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
What's doing and how it creates calendars. It creates that whole workflow process, especially when we're entrepreneurs, right?
Yep.
We got to manage our time.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. If you don't have a calendar, it's just, I don't know how you're moving, how you're growing. Like, I don't know how you can do things.
You really can't.
Yeah.
You really can't.
Right. And I'm pretty sure Max helps you organize your day.
Organize my day, my structure for my phone calls, questions that I'm asking, anything I need to do, I'm going to Max. And I talk to it. So in my car, we're going back and forth, figuring out my day and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
So when you're in your car, because you travel a lot.
I do.
Are you podcasting a lot?
In the car?
Yes.
I listen to a lot of, who I listen to.
Who you listen to, excuse me.
So,
I apologize.
Gary V. Mel Robbins. I love Mel Robbins.
Okay.
Ed Milet.
Okay.
The armchair expert, Dax Shepard. He's married to Kristen Bell.
Right.
So I love their podcasts. And then, I listen to a lot of books on audio. I'm an avid reader, so I like listening to murder mystery books.
Right.
And I do a lot of that in my car. But lately, it's me and ChatGPT talking.
So I listen to a lot of podcasts. Mel, she's blown up completely. Talk about what she had to go through.
I know.
Knowing her value. A lawyer, by the way.
I know.
Went through all these steps and then said, you know what? This is my breakthrough. And now it's become successful. You got to love it, right?
Yeah.
And then I listened to The Pivot. Pivot's my favorite. Ryan Clark. I mean, he takes it to the next level. Man.
Yeah.
I'm a sports junkie, so when I hear and see these athletes come on, and some of the other folks that he brings on to attribute Blackness, to see what we're doing, to see how it is. It's okay to be who you are.
Yeah.
It's okay to fight for what you believe in. At the end of the day, the result is you being happy with everything else in life, right?
I agree.
So I love what he's got going on. I hope one day I can hop on his.
Hey, you got to put it out there.
You got to, right? Affirmation is so important.
And not just the affirmation, but the action. I would tell you once a week you should send a DM. One day he's going to see it.
I didn't think about that, but
seriously,
I'm dead ass. I'm going to do that.
Reach out to him.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
because people hit me on my DM and be like, "Yo, I want to come on and let's talk about it." I'm like, hold on. Are you even subscribed to Let's Talk About It?
Right.
How are you gonna ask to come on my show and you're not even subscribed to it?
Right.
But it makes you look good. So for that, you're like, hey, let me just use Jimmy for what it is. I'm so intentional.
Okay.
I interview, I ask questions. And
Yeah.
if you don't know nothing about me, why do you want to come on my show?
That's a good point.
I mean, look,
It's
I get it.
self-serving for them.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
Yeah.
what we're doing here is value.
I
want to
agree.
share as much as I can because I love how you like educating the community. Like we know the market has changed. We
Yeah.
know there's not as much as activities going on. But what sets you apart? And I was like, when I hit you up, I was like, I want to do it. And to go further, many who are listening, who's going to be watching, and so on and so forth, he made me read. We had that accountability challenge with
Yeah.
books. How many books you could read?
Yeah.
It was like 3 months left. You said if you could read 5 books. What was the challenge again?
The
What was
66-day challenge.
66-day challenge.
Yep.
I'm 5. I wake up 4:30. I see Rod. I see David talking about the challenge. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna do it. Here's the link. I pick up the book. I start reading.
Nice.
I must have read about 4 books. And
Love
what
it.
was interesting, just so Dave knew what I was doing, I would take pictures.
Yeah.
Of the book, of the page, of everything, and then tag Dave to it and be like, oh, there it is. And you could check my timeline. That's what was actually happening.
Absolutely.
And when I saw that, and I'm like, I never spoke to you before. I knew of you. I see the things that you're doing. And I'm like, I'm gonna hold myself accountable without David knowing that, but I'm gonna tag him on every time I'm reading another chapter, I'm gonna tag you to it.
Yeah.
And when I completed it, I'm like, okay, I need to read a lot more because when I bring on other guests, I want to make sure the vocabulary is there.
I agree.
But the timing is there.
Yes.
And also make sure that the words that I'm using, making that guest feel comfortable. Right?
okay.
Because you're always being judged, right?
Right.
Good or bad, you're always
Right.
being judged. And
Right.
you know, sometimes my family makes fun of me because again, I don't enunciate words properly. I don't have the radio voice like you do, right?
come on now.
I don't get it in like you, but
Right.
part of the reason why I read more, one, to articulate
Right.
with my clients, but 2, because the show is growing so much.
Love it.
I need to know the words that I'm using makes sense and also make one feel comfortable about
Right.
me talking about whatever endeavors they got going on. Right?
I hear you.
I appreciate it. So Dave, you travel a lot.
I do.
You went to Utah. I was like, this brother went to Utah. I was like,
Utah, Wyoming. I was like
Wyoming,
all
Utah.
over.
Okay.
I love to travel, man. I love to get out there and do my photography, and I will travel solo. I don't need anybody with me. Wow. I just like to get out there and go. Wow. It's my happy place, man.
So to that point, like, when you wake up, what do you say? You say like, look, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to accomplish. And once this is all done, I can go to my happy place. Like, how do you set those journeys, right? Because Dave, you have a lot going on, right? You're raising your daughter, making the wife happy.
Yeah.
You're cooking, you're taking photography. Like, how do you do it, man?
Well, you were saying earlier about your calendar and your schedule.
Right.
I believe if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. So every year, I do my schedule first. First thing I put on my schedule is my birthday.
You do. Wow.
I don't work on my birthday, never have. So I always circle August 13th off.
We're both Leos.
My man. My man.
Okay.
And then like any trips I have, I put that on my calendar. Any conferences I want to go to. And then once I have everything that's important to me on that calendar, I know when I'm available to be a real estate coach. I put me first. I put my family first.
Wow.
I don't make my vacations fit around work. I make work fit around my calendar. If you do it that way, man, it's easy.
Right. But how do you get to that point though? Because Dave, if you're coaching, right, you have some where the currency's not there yet to allocate that time to sit there and control what can you cannot do, right? So how do you
baby steps? Maybe I started Friday afternoons, and I would just take off Friday afternoons. Every Friday I would go see a new movie. That was my reward for putting the work in, making my calls, doing my prospecting Monday through Friday morning. So Friday afternoon, I would take off and go see a movie. So you start with the afternoon. You reward yourself and you make time for you. And as you get more successful, you build that out to maybe all Friday.
Okay.
Right? You just It's baby steps, man.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
You talk about making phone calls. Do
Yeah.
you still believe making phone calls is important in real estate?
It's more important than ever. And it's making more calls. And it's not just making the calls, but knowing what to say when you make the call, because it's harder to get people on the phone. So you have to know how to keep them on the phone so you can create the opportunity.
Right.
So you almost have to do triple the work you were doing 2 years ago on the phone to get the same amount of business. So everybody needs to be on the phone and on social media.
You need to have two phones running at the same time.
Well, social media is social proof. If you tell me you're a great real estate agent and you sell homes in Ridgewood, New Jersey, and I go on your Instagram and all I see is pictures of you going and hanging out with your friends and your family, and I see no real estate, I don't believe you.
We don't believe
We
you.
don't believe you got more people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need to see it.
Right.
Like anytime I go to a restaurant, Instagram, I'm looking.
Right.
Anytime I want to go stay at a new resort, I'm looking for social proof. Is this where I want to go? Does it have the ambiance I'm looking for?
Right.
So if you're talking about being a realtor, people are going to look you up. And if they don't see you doing real estate things, they're going to second guess you.
Right.
It's social proof.
That is facts.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like the way the algorithms are, like you could be speaking and something will pop up to what you're considering.
So scary.
It's
scary.
It is very. Right.
Is Alexa listening to me right now? I just talked about going to the Bahamas, and now I'm getting all these videos.
And that's a scary thing too, right? Because you also have to protect the fact that when you do have that client that you're working for to provide that client the constant call, the texting, and emails, because they could be persuaded by somebody else because of the conversations that they're having, and you can lose that client if you're not staying on top of them.
Absolutely.
So to your point, phone calls are still important. Yes, Instagram, social media. I love Instagram because it's just the call to action is better for it.
Yeah, I hear that.
That said, I still feel like you have to make the calls. Like, I don't like making calls, but every week you go on my calendar, I spend 2 days a week, 2 hours a day.
Good for you.
Make my call. I block out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, it may be nothing, it may be something. But the fact that me not doing anything is worse.
I hear you.
So I always hold myself to that, where I'm going to call. Some realtors may be like, I don't need you, whatever. I get it. Are you going to get the resistance?
That's
I get
okay.
it. It's okay. But at the end of the day, it helps me have different arsenal when I speak to somebody different, because now I'll be able to say, okay, that didn't work with this realtor. That didn't work with this realtor. Let me phrase it that way. Going back to what you're saying, providing your value when you have these conversations. Because you only get a couple of seconds to change that, right?
Right.
So you got to make sure you're coming out the gate swinging, saying, okay, listen.
Yes.
Then reply with common sense on what you're trying to do with that individual.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
So again, I love it. Talk about, when do you have your script practice? Excuse me. Did I say it right?
Yeah. No,
okay.
and I'm so happy you brought that up,
the
man.
The thing is, so let's go over again. When do you have your script practice, and what days of the week you do it?
So the last 5 years, I've been doing it Friday mornings at 8:30 a.m. on Zoom. And it started getting really popular, and people were like, hey, I work during the day. Do you have anything in the evening? Or I'm busy in the morning. Do you have anything in the evening? So I just added 2 weeks ago, Wednesday evenings at 5 p.m.
Okay.
So twice a week, you can come on for an hour and practice what you should be saying on the phones, questions you should be asking, objections you need to learn to overcome, and then get on the phone and get to work.
Right.
It's a free call. It's a free call.
Free call.
Free call. You can go on Instagram Live. If you're nervous and you're afraid of someone choosing you to speak and you don't want to participate, just watch the Instagram Live. You can go directly on my David Radney Push Instagram and watch it. However, you need to learn how to get comfortable being uncomfortable, which means you need to join the Zoom room. Let me push you. No pun, well, pun intended. Let me push you to get out of your comfort zone, because I believe in order to have success, we have to learn how to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Right. I used to be very uncomfortable public speaking. Years ago, I would never do this podcast with you.
It makes both of us.
So but we're here, though. Right. Because we pushed ourselves to get out of that comfortable place, right?
Well, I realized that my voice magnitudes when others are hearing me, right? Where if I'm keeping close, if I'm being closed-minded about, oh, this is not going to happen, it's not going to happen, then when I check my checking account, it has a 0. I'm like, okay, that 0 it can only change if I start talking more. So let me go over this side. Let me
That's
go
exactly
make it work.
right.
Let me provide my value. Let me put it out there.
Yeah.
And if I make mistakes, I'm gonna be judged regardless.
Right.
Dave, you
will.
already know. It's gonna happen, good or bad. You're gonna be
Yeah.
judged regardless. But at the end of the day, something is better than nothing.
Well, let me tell you this. Take it back to Mel Robbins, her new book, Let Them.
Yes.
So you're going to be judged. Let them judge you. Let
Right.
them do, say, think what they think. You do what you need to do. Don't worry about that.
When she talked about what she went through,
Mm-hmm.
man, I didn't, and I knew of her when she hopped on the pivot with Ryan Clark, and that's why I was like, I didn't know. I was like, this Mel, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, time to subscribe. And now she's having some, she's doing some shows this year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's I
Okay.
think she's gonna be in Boston.
Okay.
She's gonna be in New York. She mentioned some other states too, but yeah, this spring she's gonna be traveling and talking about who she is, and she doesn't call herself a coach. What I forgot what was it that she called?
I don't know.
Okay,
I saw her live in Vegas last year. I thought she was incredible, man.
oh wow, you went out there to go
Incredible.
see- Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, just to get your mind right, put yourself out there. If you are a realtor who is uncomfortable, you need to go meet Rod. You need to meet Dave. See, hey, why fuck that?
See, people call me Rad and D-Rad all the
D-Rad,
time. So you hear the D-Rad.
Because I call my boy D-Rad all the time. So I'm like,
it
yo,
comes
man,
out like that, man. Sometimes people call me Rodney, Radney. I get it all, man. So don't worry about it, man. I'm so used to it.
Yeah. So again, what Dave is providing is if you're uncomfortable, it's a good thing because I can solve that comfort.
That's right. That's right.
I
I can solve that, man.
But Dave, if someone is looking for you, where to find you throughout all your social handles, your YouTube, let the world know how valuable you are.
The easiest way to find me, guys, just go to my name, davidradney.com.
Right.
It's my link tree, so you're going to have access to sign up for my script practice calls. I do other calls throughout the week that you may want to look into that are free as well. And information about my coaching program is all there. So go to davidradney.com. And I would be blessed if you follow me. Follow me on Instagram. Let me know how I can help you. I do respond. If you send me a DM, I will respond to you. I will just say this. I want to be the coach and mentor I needed when I started in real estate. I didn't have me. And so I want to be that for you if you allow me to be your coach. I love to work with you. I love to help you. And it's not always about money. I have plenty of things that you can do that are free. You just need to be motivated and you got to be coachable. That's it. That's it.
I love it. Thank you again, Dave, for coming on the Let's Talk About It.
Oh, man.
Others, Let's Talk About It. Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Just type in Let's Talk About It by Jimmy. You're going to find me. We're going to pop up. And again, we're always here to work, right? Thank you, Dave. Appreciate
Thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Hey, listeners, are you looking to improve your home comfort and save on your energy bills? Let's talk about Seal Power. They've been awarded Energy Star Sustained Excellence Award seen on Good Morning America, the New York Times, and World News. Seal Power is dedicated to keeping your home cozy while saving you money. Check out their website for tips and incentives and more at CIELPOWER.com. Stay comfortable and save with Seal Power, where comfort meets efficiency. Follow them on Instagram for updates and more, and let's talk about it as well. Thank you.